seeing people, literally bodies dangling from pickup trucks as people are trying to rush home before the curfew. Public transport vans, people pushing and shoving, trying to get onto these vans to get home before the curfew. That's on the main highway, but here in the back street, we're seeing people marching in clear defiance to that curfew, Kamal.
That's Rao Yarage on the line from Alexandria talking to the Ayman Mohideen, who hopefully can hear me just at the moment now, was describing before as if it happened would be quite an iconic moment in a day full of them.
It is. I mean, what you're seeing there really is unprecedented images in every sense of the word, because a few reasons. One, the power of the people here really just overwhelming Egypt's security forces. Egypt's security forces, if I break it down for you, consists of a variety of layers. One, you have the state security. You also have central security. But the most common form of police, or at least the kind of law and order that Egyptians have grown accustomed to, have been plainclothes police officers, informants, thugs. And these are the ones that for years have really instilled within Egyptians a sense of fear. It doesn't take much for Egyptians to feel a sense of fear and paranoia on the streets. Everyone is always paranoid about the possibility that there is an informant, or there is some kind of, as they call them, thugs on the street that rats them out, so to speak. And so what you're seeing is really unprecedented, because all of those Egyptian layers of security that for years have helped preserve law and order in the eyes of the regime on the streets of Cairo have, at least in this particular point, on this particular evening, collapsed in the heart of Cairo. Right now what you're seeing, there is no indication
towards the center of the city. Now earlier, as night fell, the protesters in their thousands had taken over, literally taken over the center of the city, had set ablaze 2 police stations and dozens of armored vehicles belonging to the state security. So it seems that they've gone, the army at least is taking full forces, not taking any chances like the state security tried to take in the past 24 hours. 5 tanks followed by personnel carriers have rolled in through the city towards the center of town, Kamal.
The protesters will pick up those tear gas canisters.
It is quite extraordinary, isn't it, Jamal?
So it is very
You've seen it unfold
that a tear gas
over the day. You saw it at the start of the day when more troops were brought in. Did they ever look like they might have control?
Projectile, like a Molotov cocktail, may have been lobbed at the
We've all
building.
been
Don't know
saying
what
our
caused it, but
correspondents,
it is
people
a
we speak to,
historic and
that the
iconic
scenes
image
that have
that we're seeing
unfolded
there.
are
The headquarters of the
unprecedented.
Ruling National
No one
Democratic Party, we are
expected to
told,
see what they
going
saw
up
maybe
in smoke.
a week ago. If you had asked, no one would have expected it. Well, this morning we didn't expect to see what we saw either. I mean, what started off as peaceful march towards the center of town turned into a full-blown fight between thousands of protesters and hundreds of riot police who were literally overcome in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, there it goes again, and then every once in a while you see the protesters really trying
police
to
buildings
dump
being
it
set
into
ablaze, the continuous chant of down with Mubarak and chants against the family of Mubarak, and also the significant to mention chants against the interior minister. And as it became evident that the state security and other police belonging to the interior ministry were unable to contain the protest, despite one of them being killed, the military has now been brought in. So we've seen the tanks come in. And also, I think it's important to point out here that nothing more clear that the message is coming in.
There you go, exactly that. Don't stay in Mubarak. It's a clear, simple message that they want to get across.
Technology here. So the only thing that really is working, and it barely is the satellite phone that we are using right now.
Nor any indication of
The
how
latest
he
from
plans
Suez
to bring these protests
with
to
Jamal
an end.
O'Shea, who's been covering events for us so well all day. Thank
state
you,
of emergency powers.
Jamal. These pictures we've been looking at from earlier in Suez.
Oftentimes the protesters will pick up those tear gas canisters and lob them back at the police. So it is very possible that a tear gas canister may have been lobbed in some direction towards the building, or perhaps somebody with some kind of fire projectile, like a Molotov cocktail, may have been lobbed at the building. We don't know what caused it, but it is a historic and iconic image that you're seeing there. The headquarters of the ruling National Democratic Party, we are told, going up in smoke.
Ibrahim Arafat with me in the studio watching.
Very strongly reinforced. The protesters are adamant, though, that they want to dump that in the Nile. They're constantly keep pushing it. I can tell from where I am standing, at least, and there you can see it again, catching on fire. Yeah, there it goes again, and then every once in a while you see the protesters really trying to to dump it into the river. That would certainly be an iconic image, one that's going to reverberate very, very loudly all across the country. In the heart of Cairo, no one would have ever imagined that Egyptian police vehicles would be set on fire and then dumped into the river. But as you mentioned, we are now into the curfew. There's no sign whatsoever that these protesters are going away or that they are abiding by the curfew. And we are...
Again, nothing more clear than the messages coming in. There you go, exactly that. Don't stay near the barricades. They're clear, simple messages that they want to get across.
Still no response from President Obama to whether they listen to their demands to lead up. We need reiteration again on the police protesters to ensure that Americans are clear and quiet until that curfew comes.
The headquarters of the ruling party, the National Democratic Party, which earlier was set on fire. You can see one man there carrying out a table of smashed out buildings of that party headquarters. Taken over that building. Signs there of a blaze outside.
The power of the people here really just overwhelming Egypt's security forces. Egypt's security forces, if I break it down for you, consists of a variety of layers. One, you have the state security, you also have central security, but the most powerful form of police, or at least the kind of law and order that Egyptians have grown accustomed to, has been a main relationship with police officers, informants, and these are the ones that for years have really instilled
I'm watching throughout the night. I was just watching here pictures of the presidential guard on the streets of Cairo.
is always paranoid about the possibility that there is an informant or there is some kind of takeout.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because we're seeing the protesters welcoming this appointment. We've been seeing the same in Alexandria, the army coming into the streets being celebrated by the protesters.
Law and order in the eyes of the regime on the streets of Cairo.
Especially in the coming 2 hours.
Yeah, there it goes again, and then every once in a while you see the protesters really trying to dump it into the river. That would certainly be an iconic image, one that's going to reverberate very, very loudly.
The headquarters of the ruling party, of the National Democratic Party, which earlier was set on fire. You can see one man there carrying out a table of smashed out buildings of that party headquarters. They appear to have completely taken over that building. Signs there of a blaze outside. Astonishing scenes from the streets of Cairo, downtown Cairo. We join now our correspondent Dan Nolan, who is actually at the NDP headquarters. Dan, what are you seeing?
Laura, where I actually am is 24 floors above the NDP headquarters in a building not far from our bureau, but to try and get more of an idea of what is going on out there now. At the moment, the NDP headquarters is impossible to make out the shape of even the building. There is so much black smoke pouring out from it. Now, the source of the fire that seems to have engulfed that building, or at least that compound, is that there are several vehicles on fire.
Back home, logistically speaking, also, people have to walk for long distance in order to reach their homes. So logistically speaking, practically speaking, imposing curfew is not going to be that effective, especially in the coming few hours.